In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a radiator on your Chevy Sonic. This will be located behind the front bumper. Let's get started. Using a 13mm wrench, we're going to open up the petcock for the radiator. Drain the coolant. Once the coolant's done draining, close down the petcock. Snug it up. Using a 10mm socket, remove the 2 bolts for the coolant tank. Pull the tank straight up and back. We're going to pop the hose out of the clamp on the fan. Pull it back with it. Remove the connector for the fan assembly. Pull up on the tab and then push down, removing the connector. Pull it off to the side. We're going to pop this white bracket off of the fan assembly. Get behind it. Push straight off. Pop the transmission line out of the fan assembly. It's just held in by a plastic clip. Remove the 2 8mm bolts for the fan assembly. There's one on top and one on bottom. Pull the fan assembly towards the passenger side first. We'll get the tabs out of the driver's side. Remove the fan. Remove the cap off the transmission cooler line. Pop it straight back. Under here we're going to have a U-clip. Going to use a pick and pull it off to the side. Use a pick and remove the clip. Be sure to keep a hand on this so it doesn't fly off. These are very easy to lose. Pull the line out of the radiator. I'm going to use a rubber plug to plug the end of the line. We're going to pop the bottom line out of the radiator. I'm going to do the same thing on this bottom line. I'm going to put a plug over it just to avoid losing all of the fluid. Remove the clamp for the overflow tank. Pinch the clamp for the overflow hose. Pull it back off the radiator. Remove the hose. Pinch the clamp for the lower radiator hose. Slide the clamp back, pull the hose off of the radiator. Pinch the clamp for the upper radiator hose. Pull the clamp back, pull the hose off the radiator. Tuck that out of the way. Remove the connector for the sensor. Push on the tab, pull straight down, remove the connector. Using a T20 bit, we're going to remove the 2 screws on the bottom for the front fender liner. There should be one more right here on a bracket, but ours is missing. Do the same thing on the other side. Remove the 3 T20 screws in the inner fender liner. There's one more all the way in the top. This is for the front bumper. Pull the front fender liner back. Remove the screw. Do the same thing on the other side. Using a trim tool, we're going to pop all of the plastic clips out of the top trim. Using a 10mm socket, remove the 4 10mm bolts. Using a Phillips head bit, remove all of the screws on the front. Two more on the side. Lift the trim piece up. It's held onto the front bumper with a few clips. We're going to use a trim tool and get in between the two and pop it up. Do the same thing on the other side. There's one last clip in the front. We'll pull straight back and pop it out. There's that front clip. Remove the trim piece. Start at one corner of the bumper. Grab right on the corner. Pop straight out. Work your way around the front. Pulling the bumper forward. Go to the other corner, lifting it up and out. Pull the bumper straight forward. Pull the lock back for the ambient air temperature sensor. Just pull it into the unlock position right there. Press down on that black tab and remove the connector. Remove the bumper. Using a 10mm socket, remove the 2 bolts for the top brace. Remove the 4 plastic clips for the air deflector. Remove the 5 plastic clips for the bottom air deflector. Pull the plastic tabs up out of the bracket. Remove the 4 8mm bolts for this plastic guard. Remove the plastic guard. Remove the 3 8mm bolts for the condenser. Pinch the clip. Pull the condenser forward slightly. Using a 13mm socket, remove the bolts for the radiator brackets. Remove the brackets for the radiator. Pull the radiator out of the brackets on the bottom. Remove the radiator from the vehicle. Remove the clip for the coolant temperature sensor. Pull it straight out. Remove the sensor. Install the sensor into the new radiator. Install the clip. Remove the top grommets from the old radiator. Install the grommets onto the top of the radiator. Install the radiator into the vehicle. Be sure you drop the bottom posts into the grommets. Clip the condenser to the radiator. Install the radiator brackets. Get the bolts started. Do the same thing on the other side. Snug the bolts down. Torque the bracket bolts to 80 inch-pounds. Install the bolt in the top right. Install the bolt on the bottom left. Install the plastic bottom bracket. Get the bolt started. Snug it down. Install the plastic bracket. Install the 4 screws. Install the lower air shield. Drop the clips into that front bracket. Install the clips, 2 in the middle. And 3 on the bottom. Install the upper air deflector and install the clips. Two in the top going to the bumper support. Install the upper plate. Get the bolts started. Snug them down. Install the upper radiator hose. Make sure it's fully seated. Pinch the clamp, pull it back to its original position. Install the connector. Push until you hear a click. If you don't, give it a pull. Make sure it's locked on. Install the lower radiator hose. Pinch the clamp. Be sure the hose is fully seated. Pull the clamp back into its original position. Install the hose. Be sure the clamp is in its original position. Install the bottom transmission line into the radiator. Make sure it's fully seated. Install the clip. Give it a pull, make sure it's locked in. And then pull the plastic over, clicking it onto place. Do the same thing on the top line. Pull down the overflow hose and install it onto the radiator. Pinch the clamp and pull it into place. Install the connector for the ambient air temp sensor. Push until you hear a click, lock it down, give it a pull, make sure it's locked on. Install the bumper onto the vehicle. Line it up in the front, push straight on. Go to the other corner, set it into place. Install the top trim piece. Install the middle first. Make sure that tab drops in. Push down along the top. Install the Phillips head screws. Two more on the side. Install the bolts. Install the plastic clips. Install the corner screw for the bumper. Tuck the front fender liner into the front bumper. Install the 3 screws on the side of the fender liner. Install the bottom 2 screws for the front fender liner. Repeat the same process for the corner bolt and the fender liner bolts on the other side. Install the fan. Pull the fan over to the passenger side. Install the tabs on the driver's side. Install the connector for the fan. Push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, give it a pull. Make sure it's locked on. Install the transmission line into the fan assembly. Install the white line bracket to the fan assembly. Push it straight in. Install the top and bottom bolt for the radiator fan. Snug the bolt down. Install the bottom screw. Snug it down. Install the coolant hose into the bracket for the fan assembly. Install the coolant reservoir. Push straight down. Install the bolts for the coolant reservoir. Snug the bolts down. Fill the cooling system until you hit the max line at the reservoir. Start and run the car with the cap off. Do this for about 5 to 10 minutes or until all of the air bubbles stop coming out. Once the system is fully bled, double check that you have the coolant at the max line on the reservoir and reinstall the coolant cap. And you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.